who's right in the Boehner-Biden battle? You're going to hear from both sides tonight, but first, Republican Congressman Mike Pence joins us live. He is chairman of the House Republican Conference. Good evening, sir, and do you agree with Leader Boehner that, good evening, do you think that Leader Boehner that the president should clean house?
Well, I think it'd be a good start if the president recognized that the economic policies of his administration have failed. Look, we were told that we needed to borrow nearly $1 trillion from future generations in the so-called stimulus bill. Otherwise, unemployment would reach 8%. Well, it's nearly 10%. It's remained unchanged for more than a year. Now, Vice President Biden may be throwing out his usual memorable lines about that, but out here in Indiana, people are hurting. They want to see this administration make a dramatic change of direction back to what we know will work, which is fiscal discipline in Washington, D.C., and to preserve and promote the kind of tax relief that will release the trapped capital in this economy and create jobs and put Americans back to work.
All right, back in March of '09, you said that you were not in favor of the confirmation of Secretary of Treasury Geithner, but you were not asking for his resignation. Are you now today asking for his resignation, and what do you point at directly if indeed that's what you're doing?
Well, I am. I'm joining Republican leader John Boehner in calling for the Treasury Secretary Timothy Geithner to step down. I also believe that Larry Summers should step down because, look, this economy is hurting. Americans are struggling. They want new solutions. Timothy Geithner recently in the New York Times wrote an essay entitled "Welcome to the Recovery." He recently told another network on a Sunday morning show that they would support seeing taxes increased in January of next year because he said the economy can withstand that. Well, look, Greta, the American people don't want the president to have around him advisors that are saying that the recovery has arrived or that say that you should make economic policy based on what the American people and our economy can withstand. The president ought to ask for and accept the resignation of the Secretary of the Treasury and Larry Summers, and he ought to bring a new team around him that's in touch with the American people, that recognizes that these economic stimulus policies have failed, and bring some fresh ideas to bear on getting Americans back to work.
I should point out that Indiana, your state, is 10.2% unemployment, so you are higher than the national average. Larry Summers said last December that the recession was over. Christine Romer had predicted that we would be at an 8% unemployment level. Nationally, we had a 9.5%. And now Mr. Orszag and Christine Romer have left the administration. Do you think they jumped ship, got pushed out in a recognition by the White House that it's time to change course?
You know, I never speculate on motives of people in public life. Those other folks are entitled to leave on their own accord. I just agree strongly with John Boehner that this administration is out of touch with what's really happening in this economy in places like Muncie and Anderson and right here in Indianapolis, Indiana. People are hurting. They know we can't borrow and spend and bail our way back to a growing economy, and they want to see this administration take a dramatic step in the direction of preserving and promoting tax relief that will create jobs, of embracing fiscal discipline, and abandoning this job-killing agenda, suggesting card checks, suggesting passing cap and trade, maybe in the lame duck that they continue to advance.
Congressman, one of the problems is that, regrettably, the economy is a product of the American psyche. If we're all excited and think that we're on a road for recovery, chances are we're going to go out and spend, we're going to go out and increase manufacturing, do all those things. If everyone talks about doom and gloom and we see the existing house sales plummet 27% down to the lowest in 1995, right, it's sort of hard to get us all sort of whooped up so that we go out and buy. What besides the usual the tax program, extending the Bush tax cuts that I know the Republican Party wants. What is it that you could do to turn around? Because people truly are hurting. I mean, quickly, we need to turn stuff around for people.
Yeah, look, the enemy of our prosperity is uncertainty. You know, I had a small business jobs forum in Anderson, Indiana last week, and I heard that term again and again and again. I mean, small business owners and family farmers are asking in the city and across the countryside, what's next? I mean, they hear the administration has not yet given up on passing a national energy tax, card check, more of their job-killing agenda.
But even that, Congressman, and I don't mean to cut you off, but it's like, you know, everyone talks about the uncertainty, but and I know that this is not, you don't run the House of Representatives, but the House of Representatives is putting off until mid-December a bill having to do with that'll help small businesses. We'll give them that certainty, whether it's up or down, I don't know what it is. But you take off a month, so you put another month of uncertainty into the lives of all these people, the small business. I mean, you should be doing this now.
Well, look, the greatest uncertainty right now is, and you just heard you heard the Vice President again kind of defend it in passing, their tax cuts, their tax increases on the rich, is this administration actually thinks that it would be a good idea to allow a tax increase on job creators on January 1st, 2011. You know, higher taxes never got anybody hired. But it's the uncertainty of, well, what taxes are about to go up and by how much? Are they going to pass a national energy tax? For heaven's sakes, it's time for some new ideas. It's time for fiscal discipline in Washington, D.C., and fast-acting tax relief, both preserved and promoted. And the president obviously is hearing from his current economic team that this borrowing and spending and bailout stuff is the way to go. The American people know better. They want the president to take a new approach. He ought to have a new team to get moving on.
Congressman, I gotta go. Thank you, sir. Next, the other side of the Biden-Boehner showdown. And then, this is always exciting. This is primary.